Market is telling us that the DeFi bubble may be over and that the Metaverse bubble is just beginning. Today, we're going to take a look at how to take advantage of both opportunities. Hello everyone, I'm Nathan, senior researcher over at Collective Shift, where we share the latest and best crypto analysis and advice on this channel to help you create more wealth and freedom. Today we're going to be talking about three things. We're going to be talking about how DeFi has potentially completed its short-term bubble in 2020, 2021, and may be at the beginning of a good opportunity phase for us to reinvestigate DeFi and potentially reinvest in some assets, in some trustless DeFi assets. Point number two is bullish on Metaverse coins. We've seen an example last week that we will go through and an example today that's just shedding light on, how the doors are going to open for Metaverse coins in the future. And lastly, we're going to have a little bit of patience. We're going to have a look at BTC and ETH and take a look at some price targets so that we don't get too excited at the moment and we have a strategy for later this year and early into next year. Before we dive in, if you're enjoying the content, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and don't miss out on our latest advice. Also, if you're an investor who wants to go deeper, check out the description below for a special discount code to our platform. Let's dive in. DeFi. The DeFi bubble may be over. We see it in total value locked. Total value locked grew from in the teens in 2021 all the way up to greater than 250 billion, and now we are back at 83 billion. Total value locked looks like it's completing a multi-year phase here, and the quote-unquote bubble that did exist in 2020, 2021 looks like it has corrected a little bit. We see that same price action on the top 100 DeFi coins by market capitalization on CoinGecko. We see it certainly in the linear chart. The bubble appears to have been completed, at least nearly completed. We're in a bit of an equilibrium phase here to see where the bubble ends. If we change it to logarithmic, if we can on this chart, unfortunately we cannot. So the linear chart really shows the exponential nature of crypto. And we see this same type of chart within individual coins as well. Let's run through just a few really quickly. Uniswap, the best decentralized exchange in the world, looks like it's completing its bubble pattern since its issuance in 2020. Chainlink, not quite DeFi, but an Oracle service that powers a lot of DeFi, looks like it's completing its bubble pattern since 2020 really. It's finding an equilibrium price at the moment. Taking a look at Aave, probably the leader in decentralized lending. It's certainly finding an equilibrium price after some bubble price action throughout late 2020 and early 2021. Before Aave was out, it was actually the Lend token, LEND, so that price action's not here on CoinGecko. Looking at Synthetics, another lending platform, this one on Optimism, as you can see, had exponential growth in 2020-21 and is completing a multi-year pattern. It looks like it's ending its bubble price action just like everybody else. We have Wire Finance, less of a price pattern here, but you can certainly see that they rode the coattails a little bit of the DeFi, certainly the DeFi summer, and helped shape DeFi summer, but also a little bit of 2021, but didn't quite have the price action of some other coins. And lastly, Trader Joe, the biggest DEX over on the Avalanche blockchain, and it shot out of a cannon on issuance, and it looks like it's finding an equilibrium price in mid-2022 as it's completing its bubble action. So I'm talking about the completing of the DeFi bubble, and it's potentially a good time to re-look into DeFi as a lot of news is come about based on the fact that centralized DeFi or CDFI has not really worked out, and we've seen banks or centralized crypto banks have to file for Chapter 11, for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and we've seen some sad stories of a lot of depositors losing out money. So hopefully these shortcomings of CDFI and centralized powers shines light on trustlessness and decentralization and DeFi. So to me, it looks like the longer that all of these DeFi platforms exist every single day without bugs, without hacks, it makes DeFi stronger every single day. So in time, hopefully we see that in the price action as well. but definitely looks like it's definitely completing some sort of multi-year pattern here. Moving on to the metaverse. Last week, Improbable Labs, the gaming company, or Improbable IO, and the other side, Metaverse, with Yuga Labs, did a test demo for their most recent, for the other side, and this is their most recent tech demo. Essentially, they're trying to cram as many users into a space as possible, and it looks like it's very, very seamless when we're actually watching the video. So I was not able to participate in this one, but heard rave reviews. Looked like a really, really good time, and just kind of shine the light on improvements in technology and how they're going to create better experiences for us in the future, and how we should be open-minded to new technology and new metaverse technology that comes out. We've seen other demos of 3D virtual worlds like Illuvium, which people seem to like as well. They thought it had a pretty decent look and feel to it. And then we've also had other games come out and other metaverses that are more 2D related. Here is the Runiverse, related to the Forgotten Wizards rune cult. So metaverses come in many shapes and sizes, and there will be, in my opinion, quite a few pixelated universes out there. 2D pixelated universes, excuse me. And here's a bunch of wizards hanging out, and a good example of what happens when a passionate group of people come together. There will be activity. So as we talk about the rise of Metaverse, I want to talk about the rise of Metaverse coins. And actually, where is that Time article? Here it is. Have a look at this Time magazine article. This was just released today, Time magazine's new cover, and it's Into the Metaverse. The digital era will change everything. And it's so interesting to me how steeped into the global consciousness Metaverse, the term, the feel, the understanding of Metaverse is, and yet there's so little pretty much speculation and interest in purchasing tokens and cryptos and participating in cryptocurrency. So it looks like the mainstream world is kind of bifurcating the metaverse and cryptos a little bit separately, because it seems like the metaverse is very much steeped into our consciousness, and yet not many people are acting upon it. So that's why we're watching this video. That's why we're talking about metaverse coins. And in my opinion, the metaverse coin market cap, which on CoinGecko is about 7 billion at the moment, in my opinion, this is over 100 billion come next cycle. So I think metaverse coins will have a renaissance here, similar to DeFi in 2020, 2021. And over the coming 3-4 years, I think we're going to see wonderful technological improvements, new coins come out, new collections, new games, and new utility for metaverse coins. So we've got the likes of the Sandbox, Decentraland, Engine Coin, Illuvium's down here. ApeCoin's not on here, but it should be. And then there's a lot of ancillary people around the coins. In most common at the moment are guilds. So we will have guilds related to a lot of these different tokens that are keeping activity up, but we'll see what happens in the future. While other people may look to this Time magazine article and fade it and not really look into it, myself, and I highly recommend you, continue to look into the metaverse and look into what people are building and what people are doing on the forefront of technology. Whether you like it or not, there's going to be digital worlds in the future, and they're going to be very much a part of our mixed reality. And, it may not be what we grew up with, especially me, I'm early 30s, but we must embrace and we must accept what other generations are being born into. Lastly, let's talk some price action before we get too excited about throwing our money into DeFi and Metaverse tokens. Just want to talk about where we are with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here we are looking out into quite actually far into the future. I think we have a little bit of time in this highlighted area to come back down into the teens. Bitcoin also fulfilling and completing bubble action at the moment. This is all in preparation for looking out into 2025, which now is way out here, and looking out to an exit for Bitcoin, a couple of multiples above what it peaked at in 2021. Similarly for Ethereum, I think we also have a little bit of price action back in the high triple digits and in the low quadruple digits. Today, as I do this video, Bitcoin had a wonderful day, and it's nice to see we've had some nice price action over here the last couple of days, and it's really healthy to see that as we've had such poor performance pretty much since the middle of March. So I can see this downtrend continuing a little bit later into this year. My color's changed for my highlighter, but into the green area before we are looking for a new cycle to change and for 2025 to come and for us to reach new all-time highs again. Looking at the total crypto market cap chart, I'm a big believer that Bitcoin and Ethereum will continue to dominate total crypto and will continue to dominate kind of price action for all of the other altcoins, Metaverse and DeFi coins included. So similarly, we've got the BTC halving line indicated here, which is estimated to be in March 24. So in a similar pattern to prior 4-year cycles, I do anticipate our price action all the way from November of last year. We're trending downwards at the moment on a medium-term trend. I do think that should still continue to trend for a few more months before we kick into a new cycle and look for a 2025 exit. So wanted to quickly touch on the breaks there and just continue to state that I'm stacking cash and I'm waiting for later this year to really make an investment into DeFi, Metaverse tokens. We've had a lot of good price action over the last 24 hours and essentially over the last 7 days with Ethereum up 26% and sitting around a little under 1,500. I still think we have some time for triple digits with ETH and for under 20,000 with Bitcoin, which I think will dominate price action for the other altcoins out there. And that is where we should end it today. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone who was able to get this far and stay with me. Really appreciate your time. Once again, check out collectiveshift.io for more information, and we'll be back at it next week. Bye for now.